Hello, my name is Caleb Bruner, and this is my testimony. I will break it up into 3 points: my childhood, high school, and / college, and what I'm doing now. Throughout my childhood, church wasn't always the most important thing in my life. My weekends were consumed with baseball for myself and soccer for my sisters. So with us playing tournaments every weekend, that took us completely out of the church picture. Throughout high school, still baseball was the number one priority in my life. But luckily, I was introduced to Elk Click Youth Group. Stephen Cross was the youth pastor there at the time, and that's whenever I actually started to hear the word. And that was my background right there. Throughout college, I went to Western Kentucky University on a baseball scholarship. And at this point, whenever I got to college, I, of course, could make decisions on my own. So church was pretty much pushed to the side at this picture. And I stopped hearing the word. I stopped doing Bible studies. I stopped reading, period. So on my first year of college, playing baseball, I wasn't only taken away from that, I was introduced to the partying scene. As far as the drinking, the drugs, and just the going out lifestyle that I was never familiar with in high school here in Logan County. My life really took a turn for the worst when I suffered from my first injury with baseball. With that being said, baseball was completely taken out of my life, and it was nothing but partying and drinking and so on. So with that being said, after all this had happened, my God moment, my true encounter with the Lord was on the night of March 2nd. March 2nd also happened to be my dad's birthday. And that night, my mom, she had texted us earlier that day saying that the whole family was getting together and we were going to go out to eat. But of course, I sent a text back saying, "Hey, I'm not interested," and because of course I had a party to go to that night. That being said, I was thinking, this party's going to be great. We're going to go out, and but little did I know that the amazing Lord that we have, that night was the night that my life would turn around. So it started off as any other normal night. We went out, and I drank, and I mixed drugs into this equation. And with that being said, it was the worst night of my life. And I found myself at midnight praying, which praying is something that I have not done in years leading up to this point. And I just found myself praying. I was like, "Lord, just take me out of the situation that I'm in. Take me out of the exact moment that I was in, the emotions that I was feeling." I literally thought I was going to die. I prayed for my life. So that night, after all that had happened, I ended up waking up the next morning. I was unsure of everything. I really didn't know what had happened, but I remembered that I had prayed and I called on God to take me out of the situation that I was in, and he did. He took me out of the situation that I was in. And so as time went on, it was 2 weeks later. I was still unsure of everything, still searching. But at this point, that last 2 weeks was the darkest time of my life, because at this point I was just feeling conviction. It was nothing but conviction. At the moment, I didn't know that, so luckily, my God-fearing sister that I have, Maddie Bruner, she was staying in on a Saturday night, and I was of course at my house in up in Bowling Green, and I just called her. I laid everything out on the table, and it was the first time that I had ever shared what had been going on for that past month, and what kind of sin I had been living in for the past 2-3 years. So on March 24th, which was a Saturday, I'd confessed everything to her, and she ended up coming over that night, and I told her, I was like, hey, you can stay the night with me. I think it's time that I go home. I take myself out of the situation that I'm in, and I move back home to Russellville. So that next morning, I packed everything up. I went home, and this was the toughest moment that I had ever faced, and that was coming clean to my parents, telling them that the sin that I'd been living in, and just completely telling them that I'd completely turned away from God. So on March 25th, which was a Sunday, I came home and I told my parents, and right then and there, I decided that I was going to dedicate the rest of my life to the Word and to Jesus Christ. And from then on, now living in life, I'm completely satisfied and have never been happier with my life. And I've made a complete 180 change in my lifestyle. And now every opportunity and every chance that I get, I want to be an example for those that are around me and share with them that if God can do this for me, then He can do it for you.